I'm always in your shadow. You're so much better than me. Everyone likes you better, and to top it all off, everyone thinks you're my older brother. I'm the older brother. Me!
Helicopter Kick is me Brawler's second choice for an up special. Unlike his other two up specials, which are mostly vertical, Heli Kick is a flurry of kicks that prioritizes horizontal reach. And in terms of popularity among competitors, it sits far behind Thrust Uppercut and barely behind Soaring Axe Kick, making it the most uncommon of the three. But that wasn't always the case. In the first year of Ultimate, Heli Kick and Soaring Axe Kick were used roughly as often as each other, with Thrust Uppercut practically never seeing use. But then the Hero update rolled out, had a little bit of balance patching on the side, and something really funny happened.
Doing that much damage for like kind of how easy it is to like kind of throw it and catch this. It's kind of ridiculous. Like here comes an up air string interrupter. Is that going to be the one to take it? That does.
Whoa, that killed really early.
That did.
So naturally, when everyone learned that this kind of thing was possible, they all jumped ship, and you can't really blame them. So as it stands, Helicopter Kick is sort of the overlooked middle child. You know, between a boring eldest kid and the iPad baby hopped up on Red 40. And honestly, I think that's a real shame, because it's still far from being a bad option. Heli Kick might be overshadowed in sheer applicability, but there's one thing it does far better than the other two up specials. It creates an environment of fear. Get owned. Helicopter Kick is what's called a horizontal kill move, because it sends horizontally, with intent to kill. No, but seriously, this move does not fuck around. That ascending multi-hit is downright torrential, making it so that Heli Kick drags the opponent along before flinging them into the blast zone. Pretty brutal. But there are some variations in how the move actually comes out, contingent on where and how the up B is performed. Basically, the game asks two questions when Heli Kick is used to determine its launch angle. First, was Heli Kick initiated on the ground or in the air? If it starts on the ground, it sends more up, like this. If it's input in the air, it sends further out, like this. Considering how insane the aerial launch angle is, I assume that the ground version was weakened so people wouldn't die for hitting a shield at like 50%. Ultimately, both iterations of the move are pretty powerful, but if the opportunity presents itself to pop the opponent up with a down tilt or down throw, it is well worth it. Second, what direction was me Brawler holding near the end of the move? If Brawler holds in, it sends more up, like this. If he holds forwards, okay, you get it. And while it might be tempting to hold out on an up B and blast that fucker in a Smash 6, if Brawler uses Helicopter Kick near ledge and holds out the entire time, he winds up too far from the ledge to recover. To work around this, most Brawlers employ a snaking motion. Start by holding forward to hit the opponent, pull back for a moment so you don't go too far off stage, go back to holding forwards, then pull in again during the launch here to keep your stock. Okay, I made that sound more complicated than it actually is. It's just doing this. As long as the stick is holding forwards before the last hit comes out, it's gonna send at its preferred angle. I bring all of this up because it's funny how over-engineered the knockback calculation for a Mii custom special is, but also because both of these variables pale in comparison to the real way to get mileage off Heli Kick: proximity to the blast zone. Now, getting an up B in the center of the stage is certainly good. It'll net you a kill starting around 100%, which is nothing to scoff at. It's just that getting the same up B while near the ledge is a lot more likely to... Every character in Smash has a favorite position for taking stocks. Some take stocks off the top by juggling the opponent, others prefer to do so behind a bunch of projectiles, Jigglypuff disrespects your entire bloodline with her edge guarding, and so on. But generally speaking, most characters are at their strongest when they have their opponent either hanging on the ledge or cornered. The corner can be a pretty scary place. Your back is to the proverbial wall, and pretty much anything is liable to send you off stage, if not outright kill. Brawler has never been short of options for ledge trapping, regardless of whether the opponent chooses to jump off the ledge, try to roll past Brawler, push through with an attack, or even just dangle off the side of the stage. But factor in what is effectively spinning Kong with a gun into this equation, it's easy to see how someone could get nervous sticking around here for too long. Pretty much every grounded option they could choose is at risk of either getting helicopter kicked or being hit by a move that confirms into helicopter kick. Trying to talk about this situation on an objective, oh, what can each character do level is kind of misleading. It's not really a game of strategy here. This is a game of psychology. It's about feeling out what the opponent is the most worried about getting hit by and exploiting it. There are dozens of examples of stuff like this. Look at this clip. This Fox player has been acting pretty fearlessly off the ledge, doesn't seem to care all that much about getting hit, so I dodged one of his reversals and up B. Stock gone. Give me a second. And alright, he's dead. Later on, he's in that same situation again, and he clearly remembers how badly he got burned for being at ledge because he preemptively air dodges in. I read it, he dies, the end. Even I'm not immune to this. I'm playing Pit in this clip. Over the last few games, I had just been getting absolutely eaten alive for rolling out of the corner over and over again. So, trying not to get hit for doing that, I stay on ledge for a second to mess with my opponent's timing and think about another option. Unfortunately, it ends up being too long and my ledge invincibility wears out. The Brawler immediately catches on, hits a down tilt, and I die. You think I, of all people, would have seen it coming, but nah man, this shit is death and taxes. Of course, unless your opponent is stupid, they're not stupid. And when they realize how bad being cornered is, they'll do pretty much anything they can to stay out of it. But staying out of the corner is much easier said than done, not to mention the positional process of elimination at play here. Trying to stay center stage against Brawler means standing closer to Brawler, which is kind of what a close-range fighter like him wants. Also, it's not like Heli Kick is completely useless once you move inwards. Ignoring the fact that it's still a viable kill move at the center of the stage at high percents, there are still a lot of ways to push the opponent into the corner. Check this out, I am really proud of this combo. Awesome. Okay, so Heli Kick can actually act as the finisher to a lot of Brawler's lengthier combos. Don't get me wrong, hitting 15 moves into Helicopter Kick feels incredible, but it does not need to hit at the end of these combos to be effective. At the end of the day, Helicopter Kick just wants to connect while as close to the blast zone as possible. Combos serve to push the opponent closer to the blast zone, at which point Brawler gets to cash in on the implicit pressure that comes from putting someone in that situation. Alright, I've avoided it for long enough. Let's talk about the recovery. If Helicopter Kick is born to shit, then recovering is where it's forced to wipe. It has by far the worst vertical reach out of any of Brawler's up specials. Hell, it's barely on the same level as Donkey Kong's up B. The lack of height combined with Brawler's fall speed poses a problem. It prevents him from going too far below stage without guaranteeing his own death. Not to mention that, without a reliable source of height, even the most pathetic spikes the game has to offer can be lights out for Brawler. But Helicopter Kick still isn't a direct downgrade. While Brawler might not be able to go as low offstage due to the poor vertical reach, its superior horizontal distance allows for Brawler to go quite a bit further forward offstage in comparison to his other up specials. Heli Kick is also a deceptively obnoxious move to fight off. It was blessed with this really weird quirk where Brawler's mid-air turning is suddenly boosted a huge amount. It's the same thing you see with Captain Falcon's up B where he suddenly gets all wiggly. And truly, this wiggling is versatile. Brawler can juke edgeguard attempts by pausing his forward momentum for a brief moment, or kick directly onto the stage and into the opponent's shield, forcing them to guess which side of them he'll end up on. None of these are risk-free strategies, of course. There is enough end lag to consistently score softer punishes on these kinds of behaviors, and frankly Brawler takes so fucking long to finish this up B that his opponents have more than enough time to just throw an attack into the move and knock Brawler off course. They just gotta be careful about how they go about it, because from frame 8, the first frame that the hitbox is active, all the way to the last hitbox at frame 37, Helicopter Kick grants the user full lower body intangibility. Or, put another way, me Brawler's legs become goddamn swords. Now, intangibility isn't rare for recovery moves to have, but this much invincibility on a move as aggressive as Helicopter Kick makes it possible to just force your will onto the opponent sometimes. If you ever wanted to roleplay as a living saw blade, I think Helicopter Kick's got you covered. Whether that means defensively up-being onto the opponent's face when they try going in for the kill, or shutting down a surprising amount of recoveries while literally blocking off the ledge. This just feels cruel, man, and honestly, I think that's what makes Helicopter Kick feel so unique.
That is so mean that you can do that to Roy. I'm sorry.
It's not really forcing Brawler to do anything unique from a typical rushdown game plan. Rather, it emboldens him to take greater control of the game, either by capitalizing on strong positions and reads with its absurd kill power and priority, or by pushing through tough situations with a surprisingly slippery set of traits. And this isn't anything more than an anecdote, but I find it interesting how much this move is favored by older players. People who've been playing competitively since like Brawl, or I guess the Bush administration, god damn. Yeah, they have a soft spot for this thing. And I think it's because of how easily Helicopter Kick rewards fundamental skills and game sense, playing against the person holding the controller. It's kinda like how everyone over the age of 25 has a Donkey Kong in their back pocket. If you've got a good read on the opponent, then you have everything you need to take advantage of that.
He's
Pyro.
moving on him.
Let's see, Pyro.
Oh, you're
my
kidding
God.
me!
Helicopter Kick is a straightforward move that rewards good awareness, and it doesn't take much executional skill to take advantage of. If the combo-centric game plan of Brawler's more popular up special is a bit too daunting, then I recommend it. Also, I want to tell y'all about this really funny bug I found. Because of how slowly Helicopter Kick raises Brawler, his absurdly high gravity stat impacts it the most out of all of his up Bs. This means that if Brawler's under the influence of gravity-altering items like a metal box, bunny hood, certain spirits, or the heavy option in Special Smash, the move will feel less like a risky recovery option and more like strapping bricks to your feet. Sadly, there's no way to get this to occur under normal tournament rules anymore. In version 1.0.0 of Ultimate, performing certain special moves on ink produced by Inkling's Splat Roller did weird things to their movement. Some went higher, way higher, and some, like our Helicopter Kick over here, went lower. Unfortunately, while it looks like the syncing should lead to some interesting combos, opponents are able to move before Brawler by a pretty comfortable amount. That didn't stop Waidu from trying when I told him about it though. Thanks, man.